Hiya, I'm going to do another video of Britney Spears. I was just flicking through things and someone was like, she's dead or something, so I was like, it's a conspiracy theory, so I don't know the truth and I'm just interested, so I thought you guys would be interested too, so I thought I'd take you along and record it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this live and we'll see what happens. But generally when I connect to somebody, I'll connect them at a soul level and we'll just see what information comes through and let's see what happens. So Britney Spears, bless her, she's had quite an horrendous life, and everyone knows Britney Spears, don't they? I'd recap, she's an American singer that came out decades ago. Okay, so as I stand here, her energy comes right in straight away. Big energy. She comes in, she seems really excited. She says she's been waiting. Oh, bless her. Okay, hang on. Just checking I was still recorded. Been waiting, and she's wanting to take me down to her soul. I can hear her as also this really sweet voice. I take the beginning of her life, so I'm seeing her be born to her mother, her mum. Seeing her mum there, her dad on the right side. He's not human, like he looks like a skin, like a reptilian, so he looks human, but he's got lots of reptilian energy about him. So the reptilian energy lacks feminine energy. He's very disconnected from his heart consciousness. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a family line thing and this man has no compassion, no love, nothing. There's cold, very, very cold, a worthlessness that he sees of life. He doesn't see any worth. Like there is respect that he gives out to men, but to women, girls, didn't want Britney to be a girl. He wanted Britney to be a boy. He was very disappointed that she was a girl. Angry. I'm just wondering, why was your mum attracted to this man? The marriage that mum and dad had was type of like an arranged marriage. This was to keep the bloodlines in check and to he's a very dominant man, a very controlling man. Anyway, so I'm seeing Britney as little baby. Then I'm seeing her around 3 years old. So around 3 years old, business started. She's saying business started through the selling of herself. So she's been sold to industries from the age of 3 years old to entertain, to pageants, to singing. So singing started at a very, very early age. She's saying I'm not a natural singer, as you have been able to tell, but I was forced to sing. I was very frightened of my dad from a very, very early age. He was a very angry man. He created an unsafe environment for me, for the whole family. We lived in fear of him throughout my life. That fear has never gone away. As I started to It's really upsetting. Around the age of 8 or 9, she was being sold off. Dad was a pimp. He would sell her off sexually. It's really upsetting. Through the paedophilia, like him selling his child off, through that he connected to people in the industry. I'm seeing Disney, people at big places that offered huge amount of money to access to her in a sexual way. She was brought up that it was normalised for her to be sold off, and mother and father, mother didn't protect, and there was no protection, and father was instigated all the selling. So he's essentially her pimp from the age of 8 years old. Makes me want to cry. And through that she got her roles in Disney. So she was being abused by people at Disney, sexually abused, and the position that she had was, the first contact was through the selling of her body. It was there that connections from Disney to the music industry was also created, and through that then the testing of Britney, you would think it testing of her singing skills, but it wasn't the singing skills that they were testing. It was a much sinister, horrendous, as she got her contract. Her contract was based on the selling of herself, and that was all areas of herself. There was no respect. There was nothing. She was sold to the industry, and with that, she said everything that I ever held. Everything was sold, so they could use her and abuse her at any point. If somebody in that industry, in the contract that she made, wanted sex with her, then that's what she did. The singing was a front for the prostitution of a child prostitution going into adult prostitution. She was sold to parties, to events around the world, and would put a concert on at certain points, but the real agenda was that she was sold to high class elite people that wanted to abuse her. She wanted out, not out of the music industry, she wanted out of the sex industry that she was in. She was a sex slave, and the sex slave that started to grow up and started to demand a different way of life. She didn't want to have sex. She was saying my body couldn't actually put up with the amount of activity that I had to do in order to keep my masters pleased. I was falling apart. I tried to create a normal life, and any time that I broke free to create this normal life, I would be pulled back in. There was no way out. There were sharks. They were also scared of me talking, and therefore drugs were prescribed to me as I started to want to talk about my experience, that I was actually a sex slave and that I wanted out of the industry. Therefore, I was handcuffed at hospital, and after I see her having a bald head, so that time when she wanted out. It wasn't out of the music industry, it was out of the sex industry. She wanted out. I was having physical problems in my genitalia because I couldn't cope with the amount of activity that was taking place. I was sore, I was mentally and emotionally broken. And I was angry. I was angry this was happening, and I was angry that I was being forced to do things that I didn't want to do. And if I didn't do them, then life got worse. They placed me on all different types of drugs to keep me shut up because they were so scared if this secret got out. They were scared of what I knew, and I knew they made it very clear that if I spoke about any sexual encounter with any high figure, then my life would be over. They would slice my throat. They made that very, very clear. I was then placed in a prison where I had to work. My children were taken away from me because I wanted to be a mother, but they wanted me to work. When I got to a certain age, then the sex demand died down, but the concerts and the working in the music industry continued. They had two sources of income for me: the sex and the money for the concerts, and therefore I was destroying my image, my mental health image. The sex died down, and then the music came more of a forefront to make money. My mum is just as cold as my dad. She is completely numb, not in it. She's not within her body. She has no emotional responses. My dad is just plain evil. I'm just asking, I've got a feeling she's not alive. It's like she's saying she's dead. So the recent court case last year, I was alive. That was me. I was in court. I spoke up. After the court case, I see her on an island, like a really beautiful island. I don't know. It could be Hawaii. It's really gorgeous, really beautiful. She was murdered. Dad is murdered, but there's satanic energies involved in her murder. And so when she broke free and she got her freedom, they killed her. She's not alive. So it was like the first holiday that she had or something. She's not alive. So what's in place then? She's saying there's lots of things that create the illusion that she's alive, and that's CGI to fake photos to a clone to body doubles, but she's not alive. She's dead. Just asking about her life, what she learnt from her life, and she's saying, I knew I knew the reality that I was being born into. Why did you want to be born into that reality? I believed I could break free. But could you have broken free? Yes, I could have broken free. My heart told me many times and things that could have been done, but I ignored them through the fears of my mental mind. There was many things that I could have done, but I didn't do them because of the fear. It was a very difficult, heart-wrenching life, and I'm glad to be free from it. I also see the scared little man that my dad is at the base of him. He's so frightened that it creates this demonic energy. He is a heartless man, and he's connected to heartless people. And even through all my abuse that I suffered here on earth, I didn't turn evil, and that is what I'm very proud of. I kept my kindness, and I kept my there's part of my heart that never ever went away, because I did believe in life and I did fight for my life, and I fought and I fought and I won that life. And it's through their own evil acts that they took that away from me. I have to have at this level to forgive what they did to me. But I will reincarnate onto earth, but I won't be in the old realities. I will be in the new realities. I'm already connected to my mother and father that I'm going to reincarnate through, and they are promising me a very beautiful life, and I believe them. I've understood that I don't have to suffer for the sake of love, and that was what came from my previous life. I believed I had to suffer in order to be loved, and that's what I had to learn, and that's what I have learned, that I don't have to suffer. So even though my life looks very tragic, I learned that I don't have to suffer in order to be loved. There was many learnings in my life, but that's one of the big ones. And I'm very grateful for that learning. There's going to be a lot of fake media about me in order to hide their tracks, and it will be exposed. My death will be exposed. Okay, that was so sad. Someone asked me to look at Britney before, and I kind of refused because I saw there was so much scrutiny on her that I didn't want to go in and have a look. But anyways, that's Britney. I was going to say there's a Q&A on Wednesday at 9 p.m. UK time this week, and if you're not part of Patreon, you're welcome to join Patreon. And I do have spaces in my healing group in Gold, so if you wanted to join up, you'd see me a couple of times a month and have a look and help you as best as I can through what's going on. I do one-to-one sessions, and also Toto as well. It's amazing. So, okay. I'm sending you lots of love, and enjoy your week. It's Monday and we're having a heat wave here in the UK, so it's absolutely amazing. So hopefully it's amazing when you are too. Okay, big hugs. Bye.